as I begin my remarks, GS, one reason why I believe that we are going to have a peaceful and successful election is because I worship the living God. Amen. And the Lord loves this country so much. And God has seen us through a lot of challenges. I believe He will see us through this and will cross this bridge of an election very successfully. Our country is safe and secure. We have the little challenges which we have to deal with. As you know, we are tracking down some small terrorist cell in Mombasa, in the coastal region of our country. We have been working hard on that. I think we caught almost everyone we think was involved in that, and our operation continues very well, successfully. And we are focusing our eyes on the card rustling in Laikipia. I have an operation going on there, and our heads of agencies told me this morning that we are making great success, and I will be out there next week with our colleagues to be sure that the citizens and the investors who live in that part of our country can go on to enjoy their property and their wealth undisturbed. So, save for some of those that we call normal incidents, our country is safe and sound, and we thank the Lord for it. And we are all preparing, going by the constitutional timetable for the next general election. I am certified that this time around we are even better prepared than we were in the past, because we also have learned. And also we have cases such as, the phenomenal work that is being done by the faith-based organizations in our country. I've had opportunity in the last 2 years, my colleague Mutaikawe and myself, to work with the Interfaith Council, which brings together a representation of religious leadership in the country on the war against COVID. And COVID remains one of the greatest challenges we are dealing with, not just in Kenya, but across the globe. But I can tell you for a fact that we should thank the Lord even more, because we have fared better than many. We've suffered losses. We have lost people. I hardly know anyone who has not lost a loved one in the course of this very frustrating time. We have lost leaders. We have lost people in the security sector. I have lost over 10 chiefs in the country to COVID, which means that we have been affected in the security sector. We have lost educators. We have lost some of our very well-trained men and women. And as I said, we have lost spiritual leaders to COVID-19. As the security sector, we do not conduct elections. Elections are conducted by law by the IEBC. We facilitate the IEBC and other agencies to conduct elections. We are hoping that through IEBC's programs and continuous further registration, we probably will have the largest possible number of young people participating in the next general election. And if you may allow me, GS, I think the next general election, 2022, we will have, I think, will probably be the most important election we've ever had since independence. It's going to be more important than any election we've had. Why? We're going to have huge numbers of young people participating in this election. And then secondly, it's going to be probably a serious transition, as it were. We're going to make many decisions that will determine whether our country is going to continue on the forward trajectory, or if we are tempted otherwise and make mistakes, we could lose the moment. And our aspirations as your leaders in the security sector is that we have a peaceful election. And how do we describe it? Or what do we call a peaceful election? We would like to have an election where not a single bullet is shot, not a single Mwananchi is hurt, no one is displaced, and everyone who is able to participate in the electoral process participates peacefully and takes a decision in the governance and the management of our country, so that the real will of the people of Kenya is realized and is understood. We want our administrators across the country, from assistant chiefs all the way to regional commissioners, to now begin working with community-based leadership groups. And one of the foremost community-based leadership group is youth groups, so that our youths crossover from what we have all the time been treated as the youths are the mobilization group for committing crime or for committing sin, so that we become the special group in society that builds sustainable peace. The abuse of social media in our country is at its unprecedented high. Character assassination, defamation, fake news, vulgar language, insults, and so on. I hope that if we build a coalition of those who respect our freedoms, those who respect that when we have differences, we argue the differences and we try to convince each other and not insult each other, the more we enhance our group, the more likely it is that we will convince those few who want to abuse those freedoms. You can take me very seriously when I say that. We will be firm in the application of the law. I have requested my colleagues who run media and the others, we are going to have meetings with media houses and everybody who's involved in the information movement chain to understand where the lines are drawn by the law. The consequences of exceeding them will be unimaginable for you. We will also discharge our duty and responsibility to protect the people of Kenya, because there are extents to which we cannot go. We are not populist. There are not things we are not going to do so that we are popular. I keep saying all the time, we don't hold this position so that we can be loved. I would rather be right than popular. Of course, we are beginning, probably by next week, going by what Mercy and the others tell us, because now we have received an increased number of vaccines. We may now get to a point where we will start mass vaccination, because we are now getting an increased number of vaccines. And we are going to use all the outlets. The Ministry of Health has laid out a good plan. We will work with them through our national government administration officials, through the police, and of course the church as a critical actor. We will probably before the end of the week have a meeting with the Interfaith Council to agree on now how we use the church networks to do this through the hospitals and health facilities that are managed by the churches, so that we can get as many of our people vaccinated as possible.